Welcome everyone to SoulBack. This is the R&B podcast. As promised, we're back after a 2-week hiatus. We promised that we would have more episodes, and here we are in the flesh with the Omarion variant still running wild, Tom.
Can we begin with a shout out?
Yes, we can.
Let's get this right out of the way, Ed. We need to shout out Kenny Lattimore, our guy. There's someone on social media somewhere in the universe waiting on to diss us for not shouting out Kenny Lattimore. But that's our guy. We love Kenny Lattimore. If we don't mention him, though, within a podcast, we get called out. That's just how it is.
I know, but as I've said a million times, one of the best voices of the past 30 years, yes. Kenny is my guy.
Yep. And Tom, he dropped some fun facts for us.
He did.
About the Music Soul Child record?
Oh, in the interview. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I saw
that was fun. We'll get into it, but I just wanted to make sure we shouted that out. I don't know if this guy listens to the whole episode or not, Ed. We just got to make sure we get that out of the way. I'm sure he won't praise us, but
it'll be about damn time.
Kyle, Kyle, Instagram says you're on mute.
I'm on mute. You guys, can they hear you?
I guess it says Kyle is on mute.
Damn, they're trying to shut me off already.
And that whole shout out went for nothing, man. We tried our best and it still didn't work out.
Yeah, that's a shame.
I think they heard us. I just don't think they heard Kyle.
They can hear me now, though. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me.
Instagram, let us know if you can hear all three of the crew.
They can definitely hear me now.
I guess. They haven't said anything yet.
Let me know.
Okay. You're all
good now. All right. Well,
you can fix that.
Screen I got you. Sorry. Watch us on YouTube. It's a lot better.
A little rusty here. It's all good.
It's all good. Anywho, shout outs to Kenny Lattimore. We'll get into Kenny Lattimore later. And for the guy that was waiting for us to shout out Kenny Lattimore, there you go. But we have a lot to talk about, guys, in R&B. But I want to start off with some breaking news when it comes to food. I just found this out recently, but apparently this has been going on for a long time. First of all, get that JD vegan ice cream. None of us can get our hands on it at this moment.
I'm going to get it somehow.
Okay.
I'm going to eat it live.
If anybody has tried this, let us know how it is, because we cannot find it in any of the 3 locations we live.
Ed, I'm going to eat apple butter and peach cobbler live on video for the first time. I'm going to try those 2 things.
Wow.
Mixed with vegan ice cream. It's going to be a great experience.
No, it will be the last experience. Do not do that. That is way too much.
All right. Well, as we talk about food, we have to start off by talking. I didn't know this. Taco Bell sells chicken wings. How long has this been going on?
I mean, it hasn't been going on very long, but yes, it's a thing. Taco Bell is selling chicken wings. And what a player does not understand is this. If you don't know, there's been a chicken wing shortage in the world, apparently. So how does Taco Bell get chicken wings? They don't even have chickens.
Listen, Kyle, I wouldn't know that information. The last time I was at a Taco Bell, you were there with me.
Yes.
So, and that put an end to that. So this is not going to bring me back, unfortunately. Maybe if it was dry grilled chicken, Ed, I'd be the first in line.
Oh, man.
I would be there.
Oh, you'll be the first and the last in line. I have never seen a man that wants his food to taste like construction paper. Like, let's move on. Move on.
All right. The other thing that Tom mentioned in our group chat that I want to bring up here, Fat Joe has a partnership with White Castle, Tom.
Oh, no. Oh.
Will you be trying this live on camera? What's going on here?
No, I can't even say it with a straight face, guys. I love Fat Joe. That's the homie, but man, I can't even discuss this with a straight face. Sloppy Joe, Spicy Joe, and wait, it's January, Ed. That's all.
January, spell January. You get a free Sloppy Joe if you can smell a January. You don't try too hard.
Can we move on?
Do you remember when the rappers used to rap? Why does everybody have to be a weirdo influencer? Can you just give me an LP? That's all I want. I don't want your Sloppy Joes. I don't want your ice cream. Give me some music. What happened to that?
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it kind of feels like he's just trying to earn a check real quick, and
Oh, you don't say.
Hopefully, no one notices.
You don't say. You're trying to get them sloppy Joe dollars.
Hey man, Tom. Next week, along with your ice cream, you're gonna have a sloppy Joe, and I want "What's Love" playing in the background.
Listen, Kyle.
Let's make that happen.
I just ate a pack of Fig Newtons. I'm feeling very good right now. I'm ready to go out to the club, and I'm immune to everything right now.
That's that Khalees diet.
Listen, let's not.
And you don't have to worry about COVID.
Moving on.
Relax, guys. Okay, so
send your tweets to ET Bowser. You know how it goes.
All right. I want to play a game with you guys. I've been hyping this game up. I want the people that are watching, tuning in, listening, whether it's live right now on YouTube and Instagram, or later on, you can find us on Spotify and Apple Music and all those great platforms. I want to play a game. It's called, and you guys will be excited about this. This is the 90s and 2000s male R&B edition of this. It's Which Table Are You Sitting At?
Oh, I love these.
I have 4 tables here. 3 seats or 3 songs at each table. I want you guys to tell me which table you'll be sitting at.
Wait, what is the criteria for selecting?
Whatever your preference is.
Yeah, what you like.
Your favorite one of those, or
your favorite one of those.
Okay.
Which table will you be having those sloppy joes at?
Oh my God! The table closest to the toilet.
All right. So I'm gonna repeat these twice. So don't get too excited.
Write them down.
You're gonna write them down. Wow. Okay.
I'm serious about this, player.
All right. Table 1. Joe, I Want to Know. Cisco, Incomplete. Jagged Edge, Gotta Be. That is table 1.
Good table.
Table 2.
That was a slow table. But
Tom, all of these are slow tables. It's the ballad edition.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
I'm out.
Table 2. Case, Happily Ever After. John B, They Don't Know. And Boys to Men, End of the Road.
That's a strong table.
Table 3. Brian McKnight, Anytime. Usher, You Got It Bad. Tyrese, Sweet Lady.
Oh, no.
Table number 4. Darnell Jones. And we'll get into the Darnell later because we got to talk about Abel, Aubrey, Audrey. We're going to talk about all those guys. A lot of government names. So Darnell Jones, Where I Want to Be. 112, Cupid. And Genuine Differences. Do we need to repeat that for everyone out here? Let me repeat this one time,
repeat it one more time,
just so we get this cleared. So table 1 is Joe, I Want to Know. Cisco, Incomplete. Jagged Edge, Gotta Be. Table 2, Case, Happily Ever After. John B, They Don't Know. Boys to Men, End of the Road. Table 3, Brian McKnight, Anytime. Usher, You Got It Bad. Tyrese, Sweet Lady. Table number 4, Donnell Jones, Where I Want to Be. 112, Cupid, and Genuine, My Whole Life. That's what people call it.
Am I allowed to point out that some of these were not 90s songs?
Yeah, I said 90s and 2000s.
Oh, okay.
That's my saving grace in all of this.
Okay.
All right, it's an easy one for me. It's an easy one for me.
Well, I know we know what you're gonna say, Tom. So just go ahead.
Table 2 is easily superior to the rest. Slightly.
What
was it? John B, Case, and what was the other one?
Boys to Men.
Pay attention. He just heard John B and was like, "That's my table."
And Boys to Men.
No, I would say "Happily Ever After" is my favorite Case song.
Okay.
One of the best ballads in the '90s for me. John B's song is probably one of my favorite R&B songs of the '90s. I don't love the Boys to Men song, but I can recognize it for its greatness and lasting power. So it's not an easy question, though. That's just my personal preference.
Okay. Ed?
All right. I got them all listed out here. All these tables are great, but let me break them down. Table number 1 is cool. Shout out to Derry. I have to agree with him on this one. I Want to Know, but that song kind of gets on my nerves a little bit. It might be just because they overplayed it. I think it's due to the overplaying. So table 1 is out. Table 2 is incredible, but again, end of the road, I'm a little sick of it. So it's on the fence. So that leaves 3 and 4. And the only reason I'm going with 3 over 4 is because I still love it, but of the 6 songs here, I think Cupid is the one I'm the most tired of. So Table 3 it is.
I don't. You Got It Bad. I haven't listened to that song in a decade, probably. Personally,
I love it. Love it.
Incomplete is another song I haven't listened to in well over 10 years.
Damn.
Cupid. Some of these slower songs, guys, I've moved on.
It's true. Tom can't listen to slow songs anymore. It's
Kyle,
weird.
what's your pick, Kyle?
See, when I'm looking at this, it's tough. I'm looking at it right now. I might go with table number 4, actually.
What was 4?
The Donnell 112 and Genuine. That might be my personal one.
You see, now, if you would have picked Genuine, I'll do anything. I'm sorry. On that table,
that's a sleeper hit. We're talking about smashes.
That's a sleeper
here.
hit.
That's a sleeper hit.
My fault.
Yeah, that's a sleeper hit.
I was looking at like number 1 records. But
fair enough.
All good.
Yeah, I gotta go with 3, but there is really no wrong answer here.
So we all picked a different table. There you go.
There you go. I'll have my nuggets in one table, chicken nuggets, Tom. Ed, what will you be eating at your table?
I will have a table full of Sour Patch Kids over with Usher, who is cheating, Tyrese, who is shaving his woman's crotch, and Brian McKnight is doing something weird with his wife. And I'm sure Tom will be in the corner eating something that tastes like a pine cone.
We're all gonna be eating at my table. It's Greek yogurt with some granola mixed in. It's gonna be a great time.
I can't wait for that.
Yo, I don't think
spiked punch.
I think Case and John B might end up leaving your table if they see that on the menu.
I guarantee you they will.
They might just be like, I'm out.
But Sean Stockman's gonna stick around. Watch.
Oh yes. Shout outs to Sean. Guys, we have a lot to talk about, and that was fun, by the way. We should do that every week.
That was good.
Yeah, that was cool.
We'll do a female edition next week. We'll do it we'll do the Ashanti edition and see what happens to Ed.
Oh god. I'm at table 0.
All right. Well, a lot of great things to talk about in R&B here. Tom, you recently you made a post about what R&B groups or what R&B artists need to make a comeback. And we saw a lot of great names here. 112, obviously, a lot of people want to see them back. TGT, Drew Hill. What are some artists that you want to see come back?
You know what's interesting? Now that Jodeci announced their reunion, I didn't feel like there was many groups left to reunite or make a comeback. If you think about it, it's like who really? I mean, Drew Hill it's not the original lineup. We're never going to get the original lineup.
Yeah.
Shout out to our boy Woody. We respect you. We respect it. 112. It's not going to happen.
That's not looking good. Yeah.
So Ed, I mean, who else really? I'm sure I'm missing some names, but like, who is there?
Well, we have Blackstreet.
Oh, that's
is that gonna happen? Though?
That's not gonna happen. Well,
I didn't think so.
Well, when you think Blackstreet, because they have so many different lineups, like what is Blackstreet to you? Is it the first album or the second album?
Yeah.
Well, true. I mean, you could do a whole, Drew Hill NWO style, all of them.
Yeah.
And I know Eric Williams isn't a big fan of my boy Teddy right now, so I don't know.
Well, now on that note, there's Guy, and we were told there would be a Guy album coming. We were told Teddy Riley was back in the mix, and that didn't happen.
True, I remember that.
It's tough though. Like, I think a reunion in terms of coming back together on a tour, that's one thing. Like, I think Jodeci is doing that, and that's great. That's great to see all 4 of them back on the stage, because for the longest time it was Casey and JoJo, and then they started touring as Jodeci, all 4 of them, and then Devontae dropped out, and then KC dropped out, and it was just Dalvin and JoJo on stage. And then recently we saw Devontae back with Dalvin and JoJo, and we were like, all right, is KC gonna be in the mix? And they've announced all 4 of them. But again, I think getting them back on the stage is one thing, but getting them together and doing an album, that itself, because it's tough for these artists to do albums at this point. Tom, remember when 112 initially came back together? They were on the road for like 6 years before they even decided to put a record out.
Yeah, and it makes sense for artists to do that.
Yeah.
I got to go back to Casey and JoJo though. Ed, do you remember when Casey was on someone's security's shoulders snatching chicken wings? That will never leave my mind.
Oh man,
that was like a priceless moment of R&B, guys.
Dude, I will never forget that, the ultimate player please moment. I remember when he was riding a human being around like a camel. Yes, I will not forget that.
He grabbed a chicken wing from someone's plate. I couldn't believe it.
I can believe it because there's no telling what those two dudes will do.
No, but Kyle, we've discussed mostly males here. There's a lot of female groups who are still broken up. I saw Destiny's Child was mentioned on there. I mean, obviously, Escape isn't really back together. That's another one.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a bunch of others, but
En Vogue.
Destiny's Child. En Vogue. Oh, yeah. The original lineup of En Vogue.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dawn. I don't think that one's happening. I saw Lucy Pearl mentioned.
That's not happening.
Not happening.
Yeah.
No.
Is it crazy? People still want Lucy Pearl. It's been over 20 years. They think it's going to happen. That's not.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though.
It ain't going to happen.
Do you guys think TGT will happen again at some point?
No.
You don't think so?
I think the ship has sailed, personally. What do you think?
I agree. I think that one has, I mean, if it was 5 years ago, maybe. At this point, I don't see it.
You don't see it in terms of it happening or it not making sense at this point? Because you guys got to remember when TGT came together in like 2007, there was hype around that. And then it died off for a bit because they didn't actually do anything. And then when they came up with the album, that hype kind of came back out. But again, it has been like 7 years since that. So
yeah,
it's been a long time. I don't really see it happening. I mean, if it happens, cool. It's not like we're going to turn down the music if it comes together, and it'll be at least solid. But they just seem to be in different places right now. I just don't see it meshing.
Kyle, it's actually interesting to think about. Like, do you think that could even be a successful thing at this point? Like, could a label make that a success? Is there a marketing strategy that would work in 2022? I
don't think so.
We're in such a weird, different place that it won't work.
Yeah, because streaming has like really taken over. So it's gone to the point where I think those consumers from the 90s, if they're not up on that streaming stuff, and I know a lot of consumers aren't, like that's their audience. You're going to have obviously some younger people tune in, but their target audience, they're not really streaming like that. And honestly, for me, streaming doesn't have the same experience when I'm listening to an album like, an album did back in the day, because it's so easy to just press next and press on another playlist. So that type of music, and I know they're going to be on Atlantic if they put it out, but that's a tough ask from anyone right now. Like, you can't really be putting on albums anymore like that.
No, it's a whole different playing field. I just don't really see it working. And it makes me sad because, as you guys know, I'm an album guy. I review them, I fuss about them. But we're losing that platform for that creativity for artists that I feel like would really thrive. And I think if TGT came out, they would do better in an album format than just this 38 playlist thing that we're stuck in right now.
Now, Ed, I don't know if you're looking for a new best friend, but when I posted the Kenny Lattimore stream to his album on our website, someone left a comment, "Where can I buy this CD?"
What? That's my
Ed,
type of person.
I might have to hook you up with this guy's email address. You could be lifelong friends.
Yes, we can exchange CDs like it's 1996.
Does anyone still burn CDs?
Me? I just burned Nas's new Magic album. Yes.
On what device?
You have a CD
player?
I mean, my I have my desktop has a burner on it. So what I do is, if I like an album, if I have an album that I like, I will buy the MP3. And when I buy the MP3, not only will I have it in my library, I will burn it to a disc and I will put it in a closet. Because what I was saying is that someone mentioned the Supper Time album the other day, Static Major's joint. You can't find that on YouTube. The MP3s are rare, but guess who has it? Your boy. Because I got the MP3s, I burned it to a disc, and the disc lives somewhere. It's all about the backups.
Hey man, don't be saying that out loud. Someone might break into your place and take that CD.
or sue you.
Oh, we
I'm
lost
supposed
Ed.
to have that.
Did we lose
Also,
Ed again?
Kyle, aren't we responsible for that even being out there? I feel like that was.
Hey, we can't. Let's move on. We can't be saying that.
You used to tag the songs. Remember, those are the days.
We can't get into that.
Swap music.
Relax. Can we talk then? If we're talking about Static Major, and shout out to anyone that still burns a CD. There's going to be a whole generation of people that don't even know what burning a CD is. Tom, that will be your child. Maybe even before that. I feel like there's probably people in this generation that don't know about burning CDs.
That's true.
Yeah. Can we talk about one of the most popular artists out there right now and his collaboration with the late and great Aaliyah, the song Poison?
Are you talking about Abel?
Abel.
My guy.
Abel.
So he dropped a new album, but I don't even really want to talk about that because I personally feel like that music is more pop than R&B. But he did put out a song with Aaliyah. Tom, this Aaliyah album is going to have features from the likes of Neo, Future, Chris Brown, Drake, and Snoop Dogg. Does that sound like an Aaliyah album to you?
Have we heard? Are these the songs we've heard already, or are these new songs?
Like, yeah, I don't know. The
like song leaked, I think.
Yeah, like some of the songs have already leaked.
No, I'm not optimistic, guys. I mean, if it was like Aaliyah leftovers, like it was just stuff that didn't make the album, I'd be more optimistic.
Yeah,
I think they already put that on the "I Care for You" album. Some of those leftovers. Unfortunately. And this is not an insult or anything, but I just think that, Blackground, the new label, they're trying to, relaunch, and this will fund some of that. I don't know if that's the intentions, but like, why else wait this long?
No, I hear you.
As for the music, Kyle, I don't know how you feel about it. I'd love to hear Aaliyah, but I'm not optimistic it's going to be good with those artists.
Yeah, exactly. Can I give my 2 cents here, Tom?
Yeah, share your thoughts.
Well, because I heard the song, and I think melodically it sounds like a 90s song, which is probably when it was recorded. And I'm not even really opposed to the Weeknd being on the song, because it's not like it sounds like one of those like 80s dance pop songs that he does. It does sound like an R&B song, but my biggest problem is, like you said, Tom, that was a song that was taken from the original, and they like filtered out the vocals and they slapped it onto a new beat, and you can hear how rough her vocals are, and it's like that's just not fair to her. It doesn't do the song any justice, and I'm not really looking forward to this album, sadly, even though I'd love to hear new Aaliyah music. I'm with you. I would just kind of prefer that they just release like those songs like how they were originally recorded, and I'm fine with that. Like, at least you get a piece of history right there, but to redo it and add, like, I'm not even opposed to the features. Like, Chris Brown is cool. Neo, we've heard the Neo song, and that song was fine, but I don't think it's really necessary to throw all these stars on it. Like, we just want to hear Aaliyah. Ed, are you good?
I don't know. As Uncle Barry kicked me off again. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, I'm on my iPhone Wi-Fi. Let's see if this holds on the hotspot. Anyway, back to this Raggedy album. No, I'm not excited. No, I don't have any faith in it, because if the best offering we have is that Weeknd song with those horribly ripped vocals, I mean, it sounded like a mishmash. It doesn't sound good. And as I warned y'all forever ago, we are not going, if this was an Aaliyah project with artists that she worked with in the past, or artists that were influenced by her, I'd even be cool with that. But just random people who are going to get her a bunch of streams, Drake, Future, Weeknd, the usual suspects, with her vocal staple gun glued onto some tracks that don't fit. No, I'm not excited. And we've seen the track record of posthumous albums don't really work out too well.
Yeah.
There's actually, Kyle, a whole bunch of Aaliyah unreleased songs floating around out there for many years.
Yep.
I would almost wish they would just kind of put those together, maybe mix them, master them, And just make that the album and include anything else they've got, even if it's like an unfinished song, like just to hear something, a piece of history, like you said, would be really cool. So
yeah, but you know how it is in the music industry. They don't want to be putting. I mean, some artists do put out stuff that's incomplete, but I don't think they do it intentionally. But like this, knowingly, is something that wasn't finished. Yeah, I don't think they would put that out.
But Kyle, it's not even that though, because they'll put out something that's unfinished. They want something that's gonna sell and move numbers and stream. So you put the biggest streamers on the day, Cousin Chris and the crew on it. And yeah, it'll get a ton of curiosity streams.
Yeah.
But is this gonna be a project true to the artist? Absolutely not. Half the songs, she ain't even met these weirdos.
That's true.
Hey, do you remember when they put out those Biggie albums posthumously?
Oh,
the Biggie duets.
And then the what was the other one called?
Off the wall.
Born Again. It had like Cash Money on there. It didn't feel right.
It was awful.
Yeah.
The Cash Money song, it was like 8 Cash Money members and Biggie slapped on it. That's not a Biggie song. Biggie didn't know Cash Money.
Hey man, that's not as bad as when like Eminem and 50 Cent took over those Tupac acapellas for that album.
Oh, I remember.
And then they like turned that into Ja Rule diss songs. I was like Tupac was talking to Ja Rule, but it's like, no man, that's not how that played out.
I know that hit you personally, Kyle.
Yes. I was like so hopefully this Aaliyah album, Tom, which I think has been pushed back actually because they found some new vocals and they want to make some more songs. Maybe we'll hear one with her and who's that new artist that everyone likes right now? Ed Blue Vandross. Do you know who that is?
I thought you could say Normani. Who is it? Blue Cantrell or Luther Vandross? Is it who?
Luther?
No, it's
Luther Vandross.
It's Blue. I think that's the name. Young Blue.
Oh no. Okay, I know Young Blue. Yes.
Yeah,
I know Young Blue.
His nickname is like Blue Vandross or something.
Oh God, is that like what is Teddy T-Pain has his weird Teddy Pendergrass things. Yeah, like that's ridiculous too. Leave the legends alone, y'all.
They're turning over in their grave.
But this does remind me. There was one album that came out that I thought was well done, which was the Michael Jackson Escape one.
Yeah, now that one was good because again, it sounded true to the sound. Mm-hmm. You had artists, producers who knew Michael, and even though he hadn't done anything with Justin Timberlake, it was still a match for the sound because it was an artist that respect. They didn't put Michael Jackson in the room with 21 Savage. I know he wasn't around him, but this is the equivalent of what I'm saying. Make sure the artists match up with the sound. You can't just slap sweet potatoes on a plate with like stale doo-doo. That's what this is coming on.
Stale doo-doo. Wow.
When it gets all dry and white in part, that's what this is. That's what this album is turning into. Make the sounds a mesh. That's all I'm asking.
At E.T. Bowser on all formats. That was not, I got Soul's opinion.
On all formats.
Yes. All right. Ed's Wi-Fi is jacked up again, so I'm going to pass it over to you, Tom, right now.
What?
Yeah, your Wi-Fi is not looking too good right now. But, Tom, I'll throw it to you for now as we wait for Ed to come back. I think you're good now, Ed. Sort of. Tom, what's better? Brussels sprouts or asparagus?
Isn't that the same thing?
No.
No.
I don't touch that type of stuff. Are you kidding me? That leafy green stuff? No.
Ed?
Wait a minute. Mr. Healthy Man doesn't touch the leafy greens? I don't understand.
No. Unless it's mashed up in the smoothie. Like I'll do a kale smoothie. But I won't eat it. Like, what am I, eating out of a tree? I'm not going to do that.
My God.
Oh, man. That just reminds me of that. You guys might be too old for it. Land Before Time, that dinosaur movie.
Yes,
I remember Land Before Time. I'm not 80.
All right. I want to talk about a couple of other things here. Just quickly, Mariah Carey and Brandy announced that they're going to be doing a collaboration soon. Tom, does that fit what you want? Artists from the same generation?
I'm glad you mentioned me for that one.
I like to ask these questions.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I would love to see it. I mean, it's not like Brandy and Luther Vandross doing a song. This is two legends from the same generation.
Yes.
Doing a song. I'm actually curious if it's even going to happen, though. If it's going to come out, if it's going to happen. Like,
yeah, I know. Yeah, because
we've been here before, guys.
Yeah, because didn't Fantasia like have a record that was supposed to come out with Brandy and I forget who the other person was. It was a third person. It was going to be like a trio duet thing, but it didn't come out.
Now, I'm not saying that Mariah is the same thing as Monica, but do you remember when Brandy and Monica came back together to do a duet? How did that work out?
Well,
we remember how it worked out.
Well, the press was good. Like they were on major platforms and stuff, so there's hype.
How was the song, though?
Shout outs to Rico Love. That's my guy. But we're gonna.
The song didn't work. It just didn't.
No, I can ET Bowser this on Twitter. The song won't great.
Oh man,
it won't.
Wasn't that song Wasn't that song talking about throwing out your MacBook and like logging off your Facebook? And
yes.
Stuff? Oh,
yes.
Okay. It was that song.
I will say this though, Mariah. I feel like she has a certain standard of quality control. Like she's not going to put out something unless it's going to be very good.
Yes.
I just feel like that. Am I crazy? I don't know.
No, that is correct.
So I'm optimistic it'll be something good, or else it just won't come out. Those are the two choices.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm kind of with you, Tom. I don't know if this is going to happen, but I do think if we get it, it'll be something of quality.
Right. Doesn't Mary have that same standard though? Like Mary usually doesn't put out anything that's like really bad, except that DJ Khaled song that came out is kind of like I don't know how I feel about that one.
I don't know when it comes to standard quality with DJ Khaled because everything she does with him is a hot mess.
Yeah, I'll blame DJ Khaled for that one.
Oh, I do that for everything. Yes.
Some other news I want to touch on here. Jasmine Sullivan, who had a tremendous year last year with Hotels, which at this point I still don't know if it's an album or an EP, but she's putting out a second part to that.
Yes, and as we know, as Twitter beating me up for, I thought it was an okay project, nowhere near her best work. So hopefully this one will be a little bit stronger for me.
Where did this one rank at in your top 50 albums of the year?
Not in the 50.
Oh,
and yes, I heard about that one, but I stand by what I stand by. It would have been number 60. I don't know.
Listen, Kyle, we love Jasmine Sullivan, but it didn't make our top albums list either.
But you know what's weird though? It made a lot of other outlets, favorite R&B albums. So it might just be us. We might just be getting
here he goes, Ed.
Okay.
Here he goes.
Let me check these outlets because I need to see if Anthony Hamilton was there, if After 7 was there, if the Shindellas were there, if Raheem and Apollo Brown were there. If I don't see the heavy hitters, then your list is invalid to me. So you can't just throw Jasmine and her up there and say, we're an R&B list. I need to make sure you're covered.
But Tom, to be fair, because R&B is such a broad genre now, like it's not like back in the day where there was just like one sound and everyone was doing that one sound. Like there's some people out there that consider Blue Vandross to be R&B. And you can't put him in the same box as After 7. Like that's not fair. So I don't know.
But
maybe
everyone knows.
Yeah.
No, but everyone knows our list is like a traditional R&B rooted, outlet. So like we judge stuff that's rooted in that sound.
Yeah.
We're not going to judge the younger generation. Ed, though, on the other hand, he encapsulates everything. So you have to take his opinion seriously on it. I mean, but we certainly counted Jasmine Sullivan in our...
Of course.
But we weren't considering like Jeremiah. Did he have an album out? I don't know, but...
I think Jeremiah had COVID last year. I don't think he was dropping music, Tom.
Yes.
Oh, fair enough.
Yes, but to be fair to Jasmine had a lot of great songs that we celebrated on our...
Of course.
So that is true. But the overall project, I thought, had its ups and downs. That's why it was not one of the best of the year. To me, if it was on your list, great.
Yeah. Can we get spicy? I have a question for you guys.
You asked me
Spicy
if we
Joe?
Get spicy?
Spicy Joe sandwich.
Spicy Joe sandwich. Ed,
January.
Oh God.
Well, shout outs to Mariah as well. She had that December McDonald's thing that was going on.
You
That
know,
woman, when's the last time she been in a McDonald's? And I'm not talking about when the camera's on.
Oh man. All right. I'm gonna ask this question. It's gonna set off some fires here, and this is specifically to Ed, because Tom, I know you don't listen to current poppy music these days. Okay, Ed. So Silk Sonic dropped their album last year.
Mm-hmm.
Bruno Mars dropped 24K Magic a couple years prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
R&B fans are going crazy, calling him all sorts of names, saying that he's just copying an era. I think Tom kind of alluded to that.
Mm-hmm.
The Weeknd and to a degree Tory Lanez both just dropped like 80s inspired songs. How come no one's throwing their hands up about them putting those type of songs out?
Oh, yes, they are. You have to remember the audience. First of all, Weeknd fans are not traditional R&B fans. They don't care. They want him to make the same album over and over and over again, because that's what he keeps doing. It's driving me nuts. So they don't care. Traditional R&B fans, if you go to the Soul and Stereo Cypher, there were plenty of people who were saying that very thing. And in fact, they disagreed with my review. I thought the album was okay. They thought it was worse because they were like, look, half this album is 80 Cent cosplay. I get that. But that is really just a criticism of diehard R&B fans, which is not going to be reflected in those fan bases. Because if you're a fan, you're a fan.
Well, that's Tom, you know what I think you can get away with and no one will criticize you for is if you make like a disco R&B album. Like who doesn't like that era of music? Like
R&B fans did not like Disco Player. Like that.
Oh man.
They looked at disco like we look at auto-tune. Disco was not the thing. I promise you.
No, but like he's talking like Doja Cat. It's like a retro sound.
Yeah, like anyone can do that sound, that off the wall Michael Jackson sound. Like if Chris Brown did an album full of that, no one would complain.
No, I mean, but again, it depends on the audiences you're talking about, because there are audiences. First of all, I hate having conversations like these. No offense to you, Kyle, but like on Twitter, because people are so biased in like their rationale. So if the artist they love does it, oh, this is great. This is looking back. Someone they don't like it, oh, look how they're stealing from the genre. So like that's why it's hard to have like nuanced conversations about this. It's a very intriguing point. Because like I have no problem looking back. I only have a problem when you do it over and over and over and over and over again. That's what Weeknd does, and that's why it gets on my nerves. But yeah, if somebody did a disco 80s inspired joint, bring it on.
I'll still say this, Kyle, and I've made this argument every time.
Yes.
Silk Sonic literally sounds like they tried to make it sound like it came out in the 70s and 80s. Literally, like down to the fashion.
Yes.
And that's different than something that is like inspired by the 80s. Like The Weeknd, I didn't listen to the new album, but he had a song like 5 years ago that was a big hit. I forgot the name.
Did you hear it at the gym, Tom?
Yes, I used to. That's where I used to hear my pop music at the gym.
Oh man,
I stopped going to that gym, so I don't hear pop. But that song was that. Yes, that I don't remember the song. What's the song? You guys remember? Some Michael Jackson sounding.
I Can't Feel My Face.
No.
That's all his songs play. It could
well,
be
anyway,
anything. All his songs are played.
But the point is, it sounded like it was inspired by that generation. It didn't sound like it was meant to sound like it came out. See what I'm saying? I still give Silk Sonic heat for that. You know?
I will say that to an extent. That like Leave the Door Open, yes, that sounds exactly like that. But then their other songs sound more inspired. So it just depends. It's not like the whole album isn't Leave the Door Open. But your point is taken.
Well, there you go. Can we quickly give a shout out here to Money Long, otherwise known as Priscilla Renee? Her record, Hours and Hours. And we're not in the TikTok world, so we don't really know what's going on. But I just looked at her YouTube stats the other day, and her views have like jumped from 300,000 for that video to like 3 million. That's insane.
Yes.
That lets you know
what it had. It's on somebody's TikTok. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Hers and Hers. That's the song that I call it. But I don't know what happened, but somehow this thing has gotten viral. So I'm telling you, Kyle, when we do our 2022 best R&B songs list, how much you want to bet someone says, "Oh, Hours and Hours isn't on the list," and we're like, "That was on last year's list." You're late.
There you go. We're always ahead of the curve.
Yes.
And another person we have to shout out is Lennox, who has finally charted on the Billboard 100 with Pressure. It's kind of crazy to think she's one of the more popular artists from this new generation of R&B, but this is her first charting on the Billboard 100.
Really? I find that hard to believe.
R&B's not that popular, Ed.
Well, yes, we know that. Yeah. But it's weird. R&B isn't popular, but she's popular. So that's why I thought that she would make more of a dent in the chart. So good for her. I love that song.
Ed, if you're popular in a genre that's not popular, you're not that popular, unfortunately.
I don't know. Ask her and Jasmine Sullivan. They're doing okay. But I see your point.
Yes.
But that reminds me of like Tiana Taylor. Kyle, did she ever have a hit on Hot 100?
No.
But
has she even had a hit on regular radio though? I don't even think so.
Tiana is, and no offense, because I know someone's going to tear me up, go to ET Bowser, yell at me there so I can block you. But Tiana like has a presence, but other than her 7 album, I can't think of one time where I heard a song that I was like, this is a song that's great that should chart. Everything is just okay. And we're like, ooh, look at the video. She's so sexy. But other than that, Normani, I'm looking at you too. You're another one.
Well,
but I know her stuff has charted. So.
Yeah, Normani is, I think, in a different, well, even her audience is different. So
her audience is quite different.
Yeah. But on to Lennox here. And this isn't even about her, but this is a wider discussion, a bigger discussion here. Because she recently tweeted out that she's no longer going to be on social media. She's going to give her passwords to the label for them to handle her social media pages from now on. And that leads to my question, because you guys remember when Twitter first started and artists were actually running their own pages and they were responding to fans. And that was super cool for everyone, because that was like the first time that you could really talk to an artist and have them respond back to you. Over the years, it's kind of now been a place for them to vent, whether it's against their label, against fans. The best thing is when like a random fan says something bad about the artist and the artist somehow finds it and replies back and like calls them out. I see that a lot. But that leads to my question.
Like my Twitter.
But that leads to my question. Is there a purpose, or is it ever a good thing now for an artist to handle their own social media? Because from what I see from Chris Brown's actions, from anyone else, whoever goes on social media, it all leads to bad. Like either they're ranting and ends up on headlines, and I guess you could say that's a good thing, but like, is it ever good for them to handle their social media now? Because it all just seems negative at this point.
Go ahead, Tom.
Well, and Tom, let me add this, because we see a lot of artists, and again, we're not here to judge whether you're pro-vaccine or anti-vaccine or all that stuff, but we see a lot of our friends, artists who we consider friends of and we support dearly. They're speaking out against the vaccine, or they're speaking for the vaccine. And is it in their place to say that? Do we not just want to see them promote their music? Like, there's this whole conversation. Maybe it's best that it is left to the label who can curate those posts.
Well, yeah, I'll say this. The majority of the artists we support and follow are not on a label, and you can tell they run their own pages.
Yeah.
When they run their pages, most of them, it doesn't seem like they're considering their brand. Like, how will this impact my brand if I say this? Like, you could tell there's no thought to that. As for major label artists, I feel like, and you guys can tell me what you think, fans need to see that authenticity and that realness from them. It can't just be like stock messages from a team like that. I think that would hurt them. And then it's almost like all press is good press. Like, that works for Chris Brown somehow. And so, I don't know. That's how I see. What do you guys think?
Now, You know, I got a lot to say about this because this is actually my job, and I actually speak at conferences about this. So hopefully my stupid Wi-Fi doesn't get pulled by the powers that be when I go on this rant.
Oh, man.
But there are two issues to look at. Tom's point is great because it makes sense to just say, oh, just have it run by a label. But the reason why, look at the biggest artists today. The reason why they're the biggest artists ain't because their music is good, because it ain't. It's because people fell in love with the personalities. You fell in love with Cardi because she's Cardi. You didn't fall in love with Cardi because she's rapping like Lauryn Hill. Please. And to take that away from the artist will be detrimental to their brand. But the problem is, Kyle mentioned like way back in the day before we lost our minds on social media, it used to be a place where you convened and talked to fans. Now it's a place to get on a soapbox. Now it's a place to rant and rave, and you detriment your brand doing this weird stuff. So the concept of social media has changed. And instead of it being like a place where people meet up and meet new friends, is where I get on my platform and I say crazy stuff so I can go viral, or I can be the new thought leader, so I can be an influencer. Our priority is so screwed up. My suggestion would be to run your own stuff, but think before you hit that tweet button. My God. Look, I know that some of our favorite artists, I know they're my favorite artists, but I didn't ask you to be a CDC representative. If you don't know what you're talking about, don't be telling people, because you're influential. Don't be out here telling people, you don't have to get a vaccine, just drink a lot of water. Well, you're going to be some waterlogged COVID people. Stop listen to the doctor. Stop listening to somebody who had a hit in 2003. That's all I'm saying. So if they use their social media responsibly, it's all good. Be you. Be exactly who you are. Connect with your fan base. But don't wild out. Don't throw tantrums. Don't act like you're some Dr. Fauci. Just be cool. And promote your music. What happened to that?
That doesn't happen anymore, Ed.
I love how Ed's hating on someone who had a hit in 2003. Ed, how many hits do you have in 2003?
Oh, now you sound like Twitter.
Oh, man.
Where are your hits? Where are your hits? They got more money than you. Like, well, I know.
Yeah.
But I'm still not wrong.
On a side note, Ed, did you like the Little Flip song Game Over with the Pac-Man beat?
I actually did like that song a lot. And I'm not a Little Flip fan, but I did like that song.
Wow. I don't know. I just thought about that song. That was pretty cool.
What was your point with that? I do like that song.
That was a hit.
It was a hit.
Yeah. So I think we got to circle back to Kenny Lattimore. We got to finish where we started off here, Tom. Did you know, Tom? Actually, you would know because you did the interview, that Kenny Lattimore was originally offered Love by Musiq Soulchild. Can you even imagine what that would sound like?
Not really. And that would have changed the course of history if he had taken that. It's almost like Back to the Future. If like a different decision was made.
Yep.
Not saying there wouldn't have been a Musiq Soulchild, but like who knows what could have happened, in either direction. So very interesting to think about, but no, I would never have thought. So that's a pretty cool fact.
I don't know. I can hear it though, yo. I know it'll be a completely different song, but I can hear it. And I kind of wish it happened. I mean, that is Music's song. I mean, he should have it. But man, Kenny on that might be something. That might be something.
I'm just trying to think here. Would that have been a hit for Kenny?
I have a feeling he wouldn't have even picked it as a single. I just have a feeling about that. So
it
would have been buried.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just don't see it as a single. And Music would have been fine because he had other songs. It's not like that was his only song. Yeah. But that is a defining hit for him. So history would have changed.
Yeah. But history has changed, and we'll close it off with this. I've seen a bunch of like shows and festivals that are happening this year, which I'm actually surprised R&B concerts are still happening. I assume a lot of it's going to get canceled very shortly, but Ja Rule seems to be headlining a lot of R&B shows this year. What's going on?
Because
what would I be without you?
Back. Look, I mean, it makes sense. His biggest audience is is you, Kyle. Like the
There you go.
Ashanti fans who love him from his collabs, old hip hop heads from 2000, not checking for Ja Rule. I'm sorry, but he does have an audience, and that's where it goes.
So what is the moral of this all? The
moral is don't change from what you know. Whenever Ashanti is doing something, Ja Rule need to be like, "What you doing tonight?" I'm gonna show up there too.
Oh man! All right, fair enough. Man, I think that's it for us then, guys. So in stereo, Ed has Tom. Did you see Ed like started his own like YouTube channel, and his video editing skills is better than yours.
Really? I know I haven't seen it. How was it? I didn't
play it.
What'd you do, Ed?
Catch up. Go to YouTube. Soul and Stereo is the name of the channel. The Soul and Stereo sessions is essentially we're going to be putting some videos up throughout the year. We got one video up, 25 albums of 2021. I got a video we recorded today. I won't spoil that surprise, but we're going to have some content up on YouTube, just trying some different things. So go give your boy a like and a subscribe on YouTube. Just Soul and Stereo. You know what's up.
Absolutely.
I never said I was good at video editing, Kyle. I'm actually pretty terrible at it.
Yeah, yes, you are. Tom, before we start plugging, I got soul stuff. I just read this. I had to point it out. Ryan Peterson on YouTube wrote, "What's better, old R&B or newer? Old is good. Newer R&B, even from the 90s, is disgusting."
Even from the 90s.
How old is this guy? Like 76? Saying that, damn.
He's just listening to Stevie Wonder, minding his own business, Tom.
Well, hey, that's not a bad place to be. Remember, I was in that phase for like 6 months. That was me for like 6 months.
And I've said it many times before. As much as we complain about R&B, every generation holds their era type. A couple years from now, people will be talking about the glory days of 2010.
Wow.
And we will roll over in our graves.
Well, see, the only problem with just listening to Stevie Wonder is like you can't really go back after that. Like you can't really like just go from Stevie Wonder to 6 Lack. Like that's not possible.
Oh, what about 5 Lack?
Yeah, Ed, how do you pronounce 5 Lack?
I don't know how you pronounce 5 Lack. What is wrong with these people?
Slack.
5 Lack. I guess it's Slack.
Oh,
which
man.
makes sense for this guy stealing his name. He's a slacker, all right.
Ed, cut Slack some slack, all right?
Never. I never do that.
All right. Well, I think that's it for us. I hope everyone has a good weekend. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to go listen to some Bryson Tiller now and get my 2022 R&B on. Trap Soul is what we call it, Ed.
What we call it is off. That's what I call it. I hit off on the play button.
Wait, Ed, I have a new one for you here. I read this before we go. Tom, the artist Jack Harlow.
Jack Harlow, is that the guy from Louisville?
You know Jack Harlow, yes.
Yeah.
Even he's considered R&B according to Wikipedia.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
How is he R&B? He's a rapper.
Everyone's an R&B artist at this point, Ed.
Oh my. Kyle, it's time to go. Because
it's time
I'm
to
about to have a heart attack.
Your Wi-Fi is jacked.
Harlow R&B.
Everyone's R&B, Ed. Anyways, your
I guess.
Okay, your Wi-Fi is jacked, Ed. R&B is jacked, so we're gonna just.
And I'm headed over to White Castle for Joan Uary.
All right, guys, we're gonna be out of here.
Will be jacked after that.
All right, guys, we're out. Everyone, take care, and we'll talk again maybe next week. We'll see how we do.